I think too, there's a big important part of this is to explain that like the first one doesn't have to be perfect. Right. And that's something that's been a big learning lesson for me this year. It's like, even now, like after building a couple of cabins, I'm like, I kind of want to just sell them and do it again because I know I can do it 10 times better.
All right, welcome back to another edition of the Hideaway Show, Behind the Curtain, full of chomps and pre-workout. We have Mr. Mike Sebastian. How are we doing, Chief?
Dude, I'm energized. I'm excited about it. I got food in me. I got energy in me. I'm excited.
The Hideaway Show brought to you by Chomps. Chomps, I don't remember what the pre-workout is that you have, but
it just says energy on it. It's like the logo is smaller than the word energy, and I love that about it. Focus on what's important.
And does it work? Does it work?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I have 30 of them.
That's all that matters, man. We needed the energy today, and you're bringing it full of caffeine. And I don't remember what the word on it was, but it said like I think it's Zynamite, which is a fun word.
Dude, I thought it was bad for me until you told me about that. But you were like, it increases focus, decreases inflammation. It's better for you than every other energy drink in the world. I was like, sign me up. I already had half a bottle, but I am excited now.
Mike's like, all right, and 4 scoops now. It's the theory of more is better, right?
Dude, thank you. Level up your listing.
Yeah, those it's a good pre-workout, yeah. And the leftover chomps, it was good. So, but no, I'm excited to get on. We've I'm trying to remember when we did last episode of Behind the Curtain. We've had a slew of guests on, some fun ones. We had Jandy with Out of Bounds Retreats. That was fun, and then
we have another one. Cabins.
Ah, dude, they are incredible, and it's fun to talk to people that are doing that and think along the same lines as we are. You know, she's thinking through like the guest experience. What are they going to feel when they see the cabin all the way to the point of leaving? And that's something we talk about day in and day out. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like other people are thinking like this and doing that. And she is, proof that works. And she is, I would say, 105,000 followers on Instagram is something to be proud of. And it was just through what we say, consistent posting, working with the right creators, and high quality content. That was one thing she reiterated again. And I almost told her, I was like, I'm going to stand up and clap. We're going to drop the mic right now. We're ending the podcast. That's all I need to hear was high quality content. And that's really what moves the needle with that. So that episode is out. If you haven't listened to that one, go check it out. It just dropped. Well, I guess whenever this episode comes out today, which is April 1st, which is April Fool's Day.
April Fool.
In the spirit, I was gonna say, in the spirit of April Fools, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do no jokes today. It was considered, but we decided to stay on track.
We have too many cool things to talk about.
I know it's a million and a half things going on, which is perfect for what we want to talk about today. And it's this concept of having the right team matters. And a lot of people say that and hear that and understand that. And I think a lot of times their mind goes, okay, great. I need the right cleaner. I need the right handyman, someone that's going to show up on time and, clean the cabin and fix a broken door handle that's, broken on the cabin. But they don't think about it from the perspective of bringing your visions to life. When you have a cool, unique idea, if you have that cool, unique idea, but you yourself can't implement it and you don't know who can implement that, then that vision and that idea will never come to life. But with the right team, that vision can quickly come to life. And we're starting to see that happen with one of our cabins currently.
We are about to be 2 of our cabins.
Yeah, this will be the second one. And what's crazy is, I guess for everyone listening, we're adding a second hot tub on top of a boulder because the first one was such a big success. Why not double down and do it differently? Do it a little bit differently.
Let's clarify that though, because a second hot tub sounds like you have one listing with 2 hot tubs and both of them are on boulders.
True.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
True. Our second property that has a hot tub on top of the boulder. How's that?
Perfect.
And what's crazy? And we're actually going to share some photos with you guys today. We'll do a little bit of screen share. We're going to switch things up on the podcast today. But it's funny to me, like we had the idea at the Stoic to add the hot tub on top of the boulder, right? And it really came from just brainstorming, you and I, and then our team came in and it's like, well, what if we just put it up there? And we're like, oh my gosh. And by up there, it was up there on top of a boulder. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And so I remember you and I were just walking around, and you're like, the next one's going to be up there. And you pointed in between the cliff and the even bigger boulder. And I was just like, there's no way it's going up there.
Dude,
And
I took a line straight out of recent politics, and I was like, we're just gonna say it. We're gonna measure the result of the impact, like what people feel after it comes out. And if it's negative, I'm gonna be like, look, I was just kidding. That's a terrible idea. Let's continue on with our day, right? And everybody was like, oh, that'll be fun. And I was like, would it? But would it?
right.
And guess what? You'll see in the photos, it is.
Dude, and what's crazy to me is when we finally sat down with that same team that did the hot tub at the Stoic, when he goes, yeah, this one will be easier than the Stoic. And I was like, really? Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I felt like he was going to laugh at us and be like, I know you guys dream big, but there's no way we can do this. And he was just like, he's every bit of what, 6'6". He's a tall guy, and he just hopped right up on top of the boulders, climbed up in between there. They were all looking at him, and they're just like, yeah, we can make this happen. And like, it's once we show you guys the images, you'll be like blown away at what it looks like. At least I think you will be, because I was. But again, it comes down to, we found the right team. It was, through trial and error, we didn't hit a home run right out of the gates. But once we find that right person who is willing to dream with you, grow with you, and work to implement your crazy ideas, hold on to that team and never let go, because that's what we're starting to see. And it's so exciting, and the upside is tremendous.
Yeah.
So
They're honestly, like, what he's capable of doing. I think it's funny because he like has the vision. I don't think he saw it right away. He had the idea and he's like, yeah, that'd be cool, whatever. But I think once he started to build it, and once he started to see like what we were talking through and how like our minds are kind of working, where it's like, no, let's actually do this, this crazy concept.
Yep.
And then we started to explain him revenue numbers. And he's like, wait a second. He's like, this is legit. Like, and it really does move the needle. Like, we took it from what, a $45,000 cabin to a $70,000 cabin by adding a hot tub.
Yep.
And it was paid for itself in less than a year. At the first 3 months, I think it was 100% increase. And it was gross revenue with a blend of ADR and daily rate, ADR occupancy mixing into that.
Yep.
But
yeah. I mean, the boost was tremendous. And even, I will say this about hot tubs. Everyone always says, like, just add a hot tub and it does increase revenue. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, because even when we just promoted and said hot tub coming soon at both of these properties, before we even had pictures, before we even told them what it was going to be, we even saw a little bit of an uptick in people being like, ooh, people want to book and they want to experience a hot tub. But the moment they saw the photos and we started posting on social about it with high quality content, it took it from like a slight jump in revenue to, like Mike said, I think it was roughly, we're projected to increase that revenue by like 28,000 or 30,000 by adding that hot tub and doing it in a unique fashion. And that just, I think, blew our minds, allowed us to really like dig deep into what went into that, what were the dynamics of why it did so well. And we were able to pull that out of that first property. And that's where we're seeing with this is like, let's do that, and let's do it, let's level up, right? Let's go to the next level of this one. See how far we can push it. And I honestly think with high quality content and the person we have coming out to capture that content, it's going to turn some heads, and it's going to bring some attention to this cabin for sure, which, it's funny. We've done it on each of the properties that has eventually fallen to the worst performer of the three in our Rock Haven Hideouts trio of cabins. And the Stoic is on track to be a front runner significantly. The Naturalist right now is kind of towards the bottom. I guarantee with adding this and the right photos, I foresee it, and maybe you think differently, Mike, but I foresee it surpassing even matching the Stoic.
I'd be willing to put a lot of money betting that this one will be our top performer by the end of this year. Whatever loss it's at right now, I think it's going to gain and then speed past by the end of this year.
Yep. Yeah. Because I mean, we've learned from what happened with that first build, which was a tremendous build and was incredible. but there were a few lessons learned with that. And, you know, there's going to be more light features within this one. There's more steps. Yeah. It's higher up. It's underneath the cliff. We're going to have lights shooting up into the cliff as well to really illuminate that. We even have a viewing platform where higher than the hot tub is an area where you can, you know, go up there and enjoy dinner and just relax late at night. It's going to be great. So I guess with that, we're 10 minutes in, we're talking about this, and people are just like chomping at the bit, you know. All right, let me first time screen share here on the old podcast platform. I'm just kidding. I got it. Dude,
long time computer user, first time screen share.
The IT guy that can't figure out how to screen share. So, Mike, you're gonna be my eyes here. You can see the screen, correct?
I can see it.
I love it. All right. So this is the photo that Mike and I looked at when we're like, what could we do? Where could we put a hot tub here? You know, the idea was possibly behind the cabin. This was before we did the hot tub on the boulder at the Stoic. And we're like, we could put it back here. And we're like, privacy-wise, not great. And it's just, at that point, you're just throwing a hot tub.
Yeah, it's just a hot tub to check the box. We don't want to check the box.
Exactly. And so we looked at this area, and you can't really tell here, but this is where that hot tub sits. So the hot tub sits, if you can see my cursor, sits about right here on the left. And then there's a viewing platform up here a little bit higher. And the steps run up here. For the hot tub?
For the deck. Like that viewing platform. It's just such a unique place up there. Like, I don't know what, like it's an observation, couples eating.
Dude, it's 2025. AI and Chat GPT's got your back. Got you covered. It'll come up with a name for you, and then we'll pick from the list. So that was the image that we saw. And then as we started working on this project, this is them pulling some of the rocks out between the cliff face, and this is that giant rock that we were saying the hot tub was going to go on. So got the heavy equipment in there, moving all the rocks, you know, bringing our vision to life. And so as we scroll through further, I want to show this one. So this is them higher up. So this platform over here to the right is where the hot tub's going to sit, that sits over the top of the cabin. And these are the steps that they built up along that cliff face. So I'll have to ask the team I'm curious to know how much rock they actually took out of there and what they had to do.
It's less than they expected. They were talking about chopping some of the stuff off the left and whatnot. Once they got that big one out the bottom, it doesn't look like they took a whole lot more that was bigger than this. There's a few that are that size.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I think there was enough rock there that they were able to bolt into the side and the rock below and this giant boulder here. It's really cool to see. And this is where up top here, that's that viewing platform that I think is very unique, carved. Again, this is why we have the right team, right? We're going to reiterate on that. When he showed us how he fit the boards to the contour of the rock and the shape of the rock, I'm like, I don't even know how you were able to do that, right? Like, no way could I have done that. It would have looked like someone chewed on it if I tried.
I was going to say, it seems tighter against the rock with like a jigsawed piece of wood than most of the like grout in my shower.
Seriously,
like, it's good.
It is incredible. So let's get to some of the good ones here. So this is from the bottom. So
you got to do the before and after.
Yeah. So here's what it was before. And here's what it was after.
It looks so good.
It like rocks just looks like there's really nowhere to go with that, right? To a landing. I think he said there's like 30 or so odd steps that lead up to the deck, which, you know, his words were, you didn't need a hot tub up there. You need a cool place to shower once you get to the top with all those stairs. But which I don't blame him. There's a lot, but I mean, each of these steps is going to be illuminated. We're going to have string lights over the top. There's going to be lights shooting up on the cliff. And then the hot tub here is just like bringing that vision to life. The before and the after, it is truly remarkable. And once that's done with the right photographer and videographer that comes in, it's going to be incredible. What's another one here? Let's show this one. This is them today actually moving the hot tub onto that deck above the boulder, which I'm not a heavy equipment guy and know much about that. I'm looking at this. I don't think they had much more they could have went with this. Like I think it just barely fit. So it's, I mean,
When he was telling us he might destroy some of the rocks down there, I think that's what he meant. It's like, we're tapped out on space. We're going to drive over whatever we need to.
Well, I think he actually ended up coming from a different angle.
Yeah. From the side instead of,
yeah, I don't think he actually hit that path, which is good.
Yeah.
So that's up there. What's another one here? Show you a couple. This is from the hot tub looking down. So I just imagine once fall comes around, like that view is going to be spectacular. And that's not even the highest point. That's just where the hot tub sits. The viewing platform's even higher.
It's so good, man. He did such a good job. I think he did a great job on the first one, but I think this one's like night and day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He crushed it. And this is, I guess, a little bit higher up on that viewing platform. The viewing platform goes back a little bit further. So that's where the hot tub sits. But the one that I think that just shows how cool and how high this is this picture here. Like, it is.
It's over the house.
Zoom in here. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it looks
even
over the top of the house.
Over the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's really cool that I think he did a good job, like, obviously, if you move the, heavy equipment here and you get off to the side, you can probably see that platform. But he did a very good job of making it discreet from this angle. You can't see those steps leading up that giant rock. So it just looks like a hot tub there. And I think it's going to just look so cool from this perspective. And then underneath this overhang is that viewing platform. It's tremendous. So this, I mean, proof is in the pudding on this one. But that's why someone who can bring that vision to life and having the right team can actually make you more money. It really can. And I'm excited for this one to go live.
It's also his, like, I think it's a lot of credit to him. Like he knows,
sure.
He knows builds, he knows rentals. But when we were sitting there and he's like, why not just put it on top of the boulder for the first one? I'm like, wait a second. Like, that's smart, So we kind of went through that. And like, as we're brainstorming the rest of this, really getting the buy-in on the vision and the buy-in on why we're doing it. And giving him feedback on, yes, this actually makes money. This isn't just a cool, pain in the neck project for you. Yep. Like it's an actual revenue driver on it. And walking through some of that with him, that opened up his eyes to be like, wait a second, like this is a good idea if we, do all of this abstract stuff. So, and then even with this one, the way that he was talking about going through lighting, all those kind of things, like that feels great.
Well, he's speaking the same language as we are. He sees the vision that we're seeing, because even there were some of the ideas when he's like, let's get some lights to light up the cliff face. And we at that time hadn't originally thought of that. When he said it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is incredible. If we can light that up and illuminate that cliff and make that, everyone always says like as many string lights as you could possibly get, like we're going to have those and the stair lights and shooting up on the cliff. It's really going to light that up to just look. At night, that place is going to look really cool. Hey guys, real quick, just want to jump in here and say, if this show has been sparking ideas and helping you level up your short-term rental game, we would be so grateful if you drop us a 5-star review. It helps us and this show reach even more people who want to build wealth through unique, unforgettable stays, just like you. So thanks for being a listener. Now, back to the show. So it's fun to see, and you think about it, if we go back to you and me going back and forth on where we're going to put the deck or where we're going to put the hot tub of the Stoic, if he would have never just stopped our originally silly ideas and said, what about up on the boulder? There's a decent chance we may have not have thought of this one.
Well, and there's a decent chance that the revenue numbers would not have supported doing the second one. We were trying to figure out how many years it would take to pay itself back. And it was less than 12 months in reality. We did not calculate less than 12 months. Right. And then after we figured that out, it's like, well, let's see if we could do another one on that. After we did the math, it's like, we have to do another one. Right. And now we've got to launch in April, which is right when we start to hit the peak here. This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good point, that we didn't think that, if the revenue numbers weren't there, that we would have not done a second one. Because sure, we may have added a hot tub and again, saw a slight bump, but I don't think we would have realized the upside with the uniqueness and what this could truly have actually done. And I think now it just like the opportunities and the ideas are endless. I mean, I guess the team's probably like, all right, guys, maybe pump the brakes a little bit. But now I don't think so. I think they're just like, what's next? Like, let's come up with another idea and see if we can't push this thing even further and make it unique and stand out. And I mean, that's exactly what we're always talking about, is you push the limits and it doesn't hurt to ask at the end of the day. Like, throw out the idea. And if they say no, maybe one, they're not the right team, but two, maybe it was too crazy of an idea to even come to life. You never know until you ask and dig in and actually see if it's feasible.
I think too, there's a big important part of this is to explain that like the first one doesn't have to be perfect. Right. And that's something that's been a big learning lesson for me this year. It's like, even now, like after building a couple of cabins, I'm like, I kind of want to just sell them and do it again because I know I can do it 10 times better, which is probably why people like go through all this planning and whatnot. We've thrown a bunch up real quick. But that being said, that first hot tub, I think was fantastic, but we didn't know what we didn't know until we launched it.
Exactly.
Right. And then looking at it, the way it's put together, how we shape it around the rock, where we put it, what we do with electrical panels and like things like that are just completely abstract. Now we go into this one. It's like, well, I want this hidden and I want this wrapped around this way. And as I'm talking about it, I'm like, I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I actually sound like I know what I'm doing now. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, there's something to be said about actually taking action. Everyone always says like, you got to get in the game and you got to figure it out. And it's like, every time I think we take action, I don't even want to say fail, but like we have some like lessons learned along the way. You realize when you come out on the other side, you're like, wow, like it sounds cliche, but it's so worth it, right? Take the action, take some of the shots on the chin and keep moving forward and learn from it and make it better to the second, third, fourth, fifth iteration of whatever you're doing. I think we're starting to see that. And yeah.
And it just, I think that goes tenfold in the sense that like, we don't need to do the exact same thing again, but now we know like, where do the wires go? Where are we going to put this? How much space do we need around whatever it is that we're doing for general walkways and things like that? So even if it's a different type of project, there's so much knowledge that goes into it. But we did that wildly successfully on the first one. It's not perfect. It's not exactly what I would have done had I redone it today. However, it was incredibly successful. So I think there's a lot to be said about like not having fear to just go in, figure out the first one. If you need to tweak it, or if you want to just scrap the whole thing and do another one down the road somewhere, like that's totally doable if you've got it enough, right? If you've got it profitable enough, or you've got it unique enough, or whatever it is that you want to call it enough at that time.
Yep. Yeah. The one thing I think we can challenge our team with is I don't think we've solved for if a tree falls from a hurricane, hits the deck. So what I'm thinking is we let the team know, say, hey guys, before we're done with the hot tub and deck, I know there's trees up on the top side of that cliff. Would you mind, because rock climbing's big there, rock climb up there, I need you to bolt in a net that is secured. So if anything falls, it just lands on the net and doesn't fall down.
Holds those, yeah.
Yeah. I think from that perspective, though, none of that's far and few between. I think all the trees up top there are secure. Nothing's really hanging over all that much. And it's tucked underneath that cliff as well, which will protect it. And we even found out there's a little bit of I don't know if it's a stream or water feature that we might be able to tap into.
Might be able to put a natural filling pool. I don't know what you would want to call it, but something that the water flows into and has a little like waterfall feature. I'm pumped on it.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool to see what we can do with that. And again, never would have realized that was there or that was possible without us actually taking the chance and building the deck and building the hot tub and taking that shot. So I think this is, I'm not going to say this is our craziest project. I think it's our craziest project to date, but I think it's just going to continue to, again,
it's a catalyst.
Test the list. Like, it's just like, let's just keep going bigger. And I guess until we get told no and we can't do it, then we'll keep pushing it. But
these are what I call gateway amenities, where like they get your brain spinning, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, like what if, and everybody that I talk to now, they're like, oh yeah, we got a pickleball court. And I'm like, yeah, but is your pickleball court put on the ground?
Yeah.
Let's like suspend that thing somewhere. Like, let's do this,
Yep.
So.
You got to take it to the next level. So I'm actually jealous. You're heading out there later this week, aren't you?
I'll be there Thursday.
Are you going to actually see it in person? You going to be able to get out to Rock Haven?
I'll be there for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I might be in it if it's done. I might go use it.
I mean, it's supposed to be done by April 7th. So fingers crossed, weather cooperates and everything looks good. I'm partially jealous that I'm sitting here in Iowa that I can't get out there in 2 hours like you can and check out the hot tub. So it's going to be cool, man. That'll be one we might have to block the cabin for a planning meeting or something and make sure we tap into that hot tub. That'll be
100%. Cool. I'm in for that.
Yeah. Do you think, I'm trying to think through when we were at the Stoic last time, Adrian was there. Me and Courtney had no issue carrying Adrian down like the 7 or 8 stairs. Are we gonna have issues carrying Adrian up 35 sets of stairs to get up to the hot tub? Think we okay?
Dude, honestly, like just tell him, like, dude, you should be walking by now. You're 3 months old.
That's true.
Come on,
That's true. Yeah,
just do these stairs down here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think it'll be fine. I mean, you should be good. I've seen how you hold Adrian all the time. You know, you got him sitting in your arm like this.
Football
I mean,
home. Yeah.
you got your left bicep is significantly larger than your right. So I mean, just hold with the left arm and we're good to go.
Yeah, we're good. It's true though.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited for that to go live, and yeah, once we do the photographer and videographer, I know probably people are like, all right, here goes Jordan again. He's going on his little soapbox about content and social media. But once we get that content, once we get that photo and video of this property and this cabin and that feature, man, I'm telling you, I'm going to come back in a podcast and, you know, Rock Haven was featured in a major publication, something along that. I think there's potential with it. So
100%.
It's going to be exciting. So we come back and we're like, guys, it flopped terribly. We're end of podcast. It doesn't work. I'm just kidding. It's going to work. Things going to be a grand slam. Absolutely. It's going to be incredible.
Dude, I can't wait. Honestly, like we've already seen those taking reservations and a lot of comments of when's it going to be there. And it's like, it's there. You know, the girl today is like, it's not there by the end of April. Like, get a refund. It's like, we put it in today. You'll be good.
Yeah, it is there. That part's cool. Again, like just the buzz of a hot tub. Again, like I get it. Like I like a hot tub, but the fact that I tell you right now, bare minimum, add a hot tub to your place because it will increase it. I shouldn't say.
Well, they don't even know what it looks like. They don't even know what it's going to look like. Yeah. No. They're just like, oh, a hot tub, cool. Like, they probably think it's going to be right there on the patio. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You just wait. Bring some slippers.
But that'll be cool. And just think of it from a perspective of the type of reviews you'll get from that. It's like, be curious to know those people that booked. They're like, we booked knowing it was going to have a hot tub, not knowing it was going to be quite possibly the most unique hot tub we've ever experienced. Like, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So.
Get some video testimonials out there.
It's going to be great. It's going to be incredible. I'm jealous you're going out, but you're going to have to send me pictures, send me a selfie from the top when you get up there. So,
deal.
It'll be great. So, all right. Well, enough about hot tubs and how great this hot tub's going to be and social media stuff. We'll wrap it up today. So, another amazing episode of the Hideaway Show, Behind the Curtain edition. I'm Jordan Holmes. He's Mike Sebastian. Until next time, take care, everyone.